Have you ever wondered whether exercise does far more than simply burn calories? What if every time you move your muscles, you're sending powerful biological signals throughout your body that could actually help lower your risk of cancer or even improve outcomes after a cancer diagnosis? For years, many people thought of exercise as something we do for weight loss or heart health. But here's what the science is revealing today. Exercise is much more than movement. It acts like a powerful biological messenger, influencing your immune system, your hormones, your metabolism, and even the microscopic environment where cancer cells live. Here's what's really going on inside your body. Cancer doesn't develop in isolation. It grows within an environment influenced by chronic inflammation, insulin resistance, excess body fat, hormonal imbalances, poor immune surveillance, and mitochondrial dysfunction. In other words, the health of your internal environment matters enormously. While exercise is never a substitute for appropriate medical treatment, an expanding field known as exercise oncology now recognizes physical activity as one of the most powerful lifestyle interventions for both cancer prevention and improving quality of life during and after treatment. Recent reviews continue to reinforce that appropriately prescribed exercise is safe for most people with cancer and is now recommended by multiple international oncology organizations. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Imagine your body as a city. Your immune cells are the police officers. Your hormones are the communication network. Your blood vessels are the highways. Your muscles are not just engines, they're also factories that release hundreds of signaling molecules that help coordinate the entire city. When you remain inactive, those systems become sluggish. But when you exercise regularly, it's like upgrading the city's infrastructure, improving communication, increasing surveillance, reducing unnecessary inflammation, and making it much harder for dangerous cells to thrive. And here's the exciting part. In this video, we're going to explore 6 science-backed ways exercise changes your body's internal environment to make it less favorable for cancer. We'll look at how movement improves insulin sensitivity, strengthens immune defenses, reduces chronic inflammation, balances hormones, preserves muscle during cancer treatment, and why the latest research is calling exercise one of the most effective complementary therapies available. If this is helpful so far, consider subscribing. Every day, we break down complex health science into practical strategies you can actually apply to improve your metabolism, energy, healthy aging, and long-term resilience. Let's begin with one of the biggest misconceptions about cancer prevention. Many people believe exercise helps simply because it burns calories and reduces body weight. While maintaining a healthy weight certainly matters, that's only a small part of the story. Here's what's really going on inside your body. Every time you eat, especially foods rich in refined carbohydrates and added sugars, your blood glucose rises. In response, your pancreas releases insulin, a hormone that acts like a key, allowing glucose to enter your cells for energy. But when this process happens repeatedly over many years, particularly alongside inactivity, your cells become less responsive to insulin. This condition, known as insulin resistance, forces your body to produce even more insulin to keep blood sugar under control. Now, here's why this matters in the context of cancer. Insulin isn't just a blood sugar hormone, it's also a growth signal. Along with insulin-like growth factor 1, or IGF-1, it activates pathways that encourage cells to grow, divide, and survive. Healthy cells use these signals for normal repair and regeneration, but many cancer cells can also take advantage of these same pathways, using them to support uncontrolled growth. That's one reason why metabolic health has become such an important area of cancer research. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Imagine you're watering a garden. Water helps healthy plants grow, but if weeds are present, they'll benefit from that water too. Insulin works in a similar way. Your body needs it, but when insulin levels stay chronically elevated because of insulin resistance, you're continually providing growth signals throughout the body. The goal isn't to eliminate insulin, that would be impossible and unhealthy. The goal is to restore normal insulin sensitivity so your body uses only the amount it truly needs. This is where exercise becomes remarkably powerful. When your muscles contract during a brisk walk, a bike ride, or a strength training session, they can absorb glucose directly from the bloodstream, even with much less insulin. Think of your muscles opening an emergency side door that lets glucose enter without relying entirely on insulin. Over time, regular exercise makes those muscle cells more sensitive to insulin, meaning your pancreas doesn't have to work as hard. Research consistently shows that both aerobic exercise and resistance training improve insulin sensitivity and overall metabolic health, reducing one of the biological conditions associated with increased cancer risk. The practical takeaway is refreshingly simple. Aim for at least 30 minutes of moderate movement on most days of the week. Even a 10 to 15-minute walk after meals can help lower post-meal blood sugar. Include resistance training 2 or 3 times each week because muscle is your body's largest reservoir for glucose disposal. Prioritize whole foods rich in fiber, adequate protein, healthy fats, and minimally processed carbohydrates. Pair these habits with consistent sleep because poor sleep also reduces insulin sensitivity. Remember, this isn't about chasing a perfect number on the scale, it's about improving the metabolic environment inside your body. Every workout is sending a message to your cells. Become more efficient, use energy more effectively, and reduce unnecessary growth signals. If this is helpful so far, consider subscribing. Every day, we explore the science behind metabolism, nutrition, longevity, and disease prevention so you can make informed decisions that support your health for years to come. Now let's move beyond metabolism and talk about one of the most fascinating discoveries in modern physiology. Your muscles are far more than tissues that help you move. In fact, scientists now recognize skeletal muscle as one of the body's largest endocrine organs, a tissue that communicates with the rest of your body by releasing powerful signaling molecules. Here's what's really going on inside your body. Every time your muscles contract during exercise, they release hundreds of proteins and peptides known as myokines. Think of these as tiny biological text messages. They travel through your bloodstream, delivering instructions to your immune system, your liver, your fat tissue, your brain, and many other organs. Rather than simply building strength, your muscles are actively coordinating whole body health. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Imagine your body as a large company. Your organs are different departments, each with its own responsibilities. Without communication, the company quickly becomes inefficient. Important information gets delayed, mistakes increase, and problems go unnoticed. Myokines act like instant messages between departments, keeping everyone informed and working toward the same goal. Every workout sends another wave of these beneficial messages throughout your body. What the research shows is that many myokines help reduce chronic inflammation, improve insulin sensitivity, support healthy immune function, and promote cellular repair. Some laboratory and animal studies even suggest certain myokines may slow cancer cell growth or make the environment around tumors less supportive of their survival. While scientists are still investigating exactly how these mechanisms translate to humans, the overall evidence consistently shows that regular physical activity creates biological conditions associated with better health and improved cancer outcomes. One of the most important myokines is interleukin 6, or IL-6. Now, this can sound confusing because IL-6 is often associated with inflammation during illness, but the IL-6 released from exercising muscles behaves very differently. During physical activity, it acts more like a coordinator than an inflammatory trigger, helping increase fat burning, improve glucose uptake, and stimulate the production of anti-inflammatory molecules. In other words, the same molecule can have very different effects depending on where it comes from and the context in which it is released. This is a perfect example of why movement is medicine, not because it targets one disease, but because it improves communication across the entire body. So how can you maximize these benefits? The good news is that you don't need marathon workouts. Consistency matters far more than intensity. Aim to move your muscles every day, even if it's just a brisk walk, cycling, swimming, bodyweight exercises, or resistance training. Including strength training at least 2 to 3 times per week is especially valuable because larger, stronger muscles have a greater capacity to produce beneficial myokines and improve overall metabolic health. Breaking up long periods of sitting with a few minutes of movement every hour also helps keep these signaling pathways active throughout the day. Think of every workout as sending a health update to every cell in your body. The more consistently those messages are sent, the better your body's systems can work together to maintain balance, repair damage, and support long-term resilience. That's a powerful reminder that exercise isn't just changing how your body looks, it's changing how your body communicates from the inside out. Now let's talk about one of your body's most remarkable defense systems, one that's working every single day, whether you realize it or not. It's called immune surveillance, and it's one of the reasons regular exercise has attracted so much attention in cancer research. Here's what's really going on inside your body. Your body produces billions of new cells every day. Most divide normally, perform their function, and eventually die when their job is done. But occasionally, mistakes happen. DNA can become damaged through normal metabolism, environmental toxins, ultraviolet radiation, smoking, or simply aging. Most of these abnormal cells never become cancer because your immune system identifies and removes them long before they have the chance to grow. Think of your immune system as an elite security team. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Imagine a large airport with thousands of travelers passing through every hour. Security officers constantly scan for anything unusual. If they're alert, well-trained, and adequately staffed, suspicious activity is detected quickly, but if security is understaffed, exhausted, or distracted, dangerous individuals are more likely to slip through unnoticed. Your immune system works in much the same way. Among its most important defenders are natural killer cells, often called NK cells, along with cytotoxic T cells. These specialized immune cells patrol your body looking for virus-infected cells and cells that have begun behaving abnormally. Research has shown that even a single session of moderate exercise temporarily increases the circulation of these immune cells, helping them move more efficiently throughout the body. Over time, consistent physical activity supports healthier immune function, reduces chronic inflammation, and improves the body's ability to respond to cellular damage. Exercise is also being studied for its ability to improve treatment tolerance and enhance responses to certain cancer therapies when used alongside standard medical care, not as a replacement for it. But here's something equally important. More exercise is not always better. Extremely prolonged, high-intensity training without adequate recovery can temporarily suppress immune function. That's why balance matters. Your immune system responds best to regular, moderate exercise combined with sufficient sleep, proper nutrition, stress management, and recovery. Think of it as training your security team, not exhausting them. So what does this look like in everyday life? Aim for at least 150 minutes of moderate-intensity aerobic exercise each week. Add 2 or more strength training sessions to preserve muscle and metabolic health. Prioritize 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep because many immune processes are most active during deep sleep. Eat enough protein to support immune cell production, include colorful fruits and vegetables rich in antioxidants and polyphenols, and maintain healthy vitamin D levels under the guidance of your healthcare provider if you're deficient. Remember, no single workout prevents cancer. Instead, every session contributes another layer of protection by supporting the systems your body already uses to detect, repair, and eliminate abnormal cells. Exercise isn't creating a superhuman immune system. It helps your existing one perform the job it was designed to do. If this is helpful so far, consider subscribing. Every day, we explore the latest science on metabolism, nutrition, longevity, and disease prevention, turning complex research into practical strategies you can use to build a healthier future, one habit at a time. Now let's connect everything we've discussed so far. Improved insulin sensitivity, beneficial myokines, and stronger immune surveillance all point toward one larger theme: reducing chronic inflammation. In fact, many scientists now view chronic, low-grade inflammation as one of the common biological threads linking obesity, insulin resistance, cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, and many forms of cancer. Here's what's really going on inside your body. Inflammation itself isn't the enemy. In fact, acute inflammation is essential for healing. If you cut your finger or catch a virus, your immune system creates a temporary inflammatory response to repair tissue and eliminate the threat. Once the job is done, the inflammation fades away. The problem begins when that inflammatory response never fully turns off. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Imagine the smoke alarm in your home. During a real fire, it's incredibly valuable because it alerts you to danger. But if the alarm keeps blaring day and night, even when there's no fire, it becomes harmful. It creates stress, disrupts normal function, and makes it harder to recognize a true emergency. Chronic inflammation works much the same way. Excess visceral fat around the abdomen, physical inactivity, poor sleep, chronic psychological stress, smoking, excessive alcohol consumption, and diets high in ultra-processed foods can all keep your body's inflammatory alarm switched on. Over months and years, this persistent inflammatory state can damage DNA, impair immune regulation, promote abnormal blood vessel formation, and create conditions that may support cancer development and progression. What the research shows is that regular physical activity helps calm this unnecessary inflammatory response. People who exercise consistently often have lower levels of inflammatory biomarkers, such as C-reactive protein, CRP, and improved regulation of inflammatory signaling pathways. Exercise also reduces visceral fat, the metabolically active fat that releases inflammatory chemicals, and increases anti-inflammatory compounds produced by contracting muscles. Rather than simply masking inflammation, regular movement helps address several of its root causes. So how can you apply this in daily life? Think beyond your workout. Your goal should be to build an anti-inflammatory lifestyle. Fill half of your plate with colorful vegetables rich in phytonutrients. Choose healthy fats from foods like extra virgin olive oil, nuts, seeds, and fatty fish rich in omega-3 fatty acids. Eat enough high-quality protein to preserve muscle mass. Limit ultra-processed foods and sugar-sweetened beverages that contribute little nutrition while encouraging metabolic dysfunction. Pair your exercise routine with consistent sleep and daily stress management practices, whether that's walking outdoors, deep breathing, meditation, or spending time with family and friends. Remember, inflammation is not controlled by one pill, one supplement, or one superfood. It's the result of thousands of biological signals your body receives every day. Every healthy meal, every good night's sleep, every walk after dinner, and every strength training session sends another signal that tells your body to shift away from chronic inflammation and toward repair. If this is helpful so far, consider subscribing. Every day, we bring you practical, science-backed strategies that help you optimize your metabolism, reduce disease risk, and build a healthier, longer life, naturally. As we come to our final science-backed insight, let's talk about something that's often overlooked but may be one of the strongest predictors of long-term health: your muscle mass. Most people think of muscle as something that helps you lift groceries, climb stairs, or improve athletic performance. But from a metabolic and physiological perspective, muscle is one of the most important organs in your body. Here's what's really going on inside your body. Muscle serves as your body's largest reservoir for glucose disposal, helping regulate blood sugar and insulin sensitivity. It stores amino acids needed for tissue repair, produces beneficial myokines, supports healthy mitochondria, and plays a central role in maintaining strength, balance, and independence as you age. During serious illnesses, including cancer, muscle becomes even more valuable because it provides the metabolic reserve your body relies on during periods of stress. Unfortunately, cancer itself and some cancer treatments can accelerate muscle loss, a condition known as cancer-related muscle wasting or cachexia in more advanced stages. Losing muscle doesn't just reduce strength, it can contribute to fatigue, slower recovery, reduced physical function, and poorer tolerance of treatment. This is one reason why exercise has become an important part of supportive cancer care. Research consistently shows that appropriately prescribed resistance training and aerobic exercise can help preserve muscle mass, improve physical function, reduce cancer-related fatigue, and enhance overall quality of life for many patients during and after treatment when supervised appropriately. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Think of your muscles as your body's savings account. When life is going well, you continue making deposits through regular exercise, adequate protein, and proper recovery. Then, if your body faces a major challenge, whether it's surgery, illness, or cancer treatment, you have reserves to draw upon. But if you've spent years making no deposits, your body enters that challenge with a nearly empty account. Building and preserving muscle is one of the best long-term investments you can make for your health. So, what does an evidence-based exercise plan actually look like? Aim for at least 150 to 300 minutes of moderate intensity aerobic activity each week, such as brisk walking, cycling, or swimming. Include 2 to 3 full-body resistance training sessions weekly, focusing on major muscle groups using bodyweight exercises, resistance bands, free weights, or machines. Progress gradually by increasing resistance or repetitions over time. If you're undergoing cancer treatment or recovering from surgery, work with your oncology team or a qualified exercise professional to adapt the program to your individual needs and energy levels. Nutrition matters just as much. Consume adequate high-quality protein throughout the day to support muscle repair, generally around 1.0 to 1.6 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight daily for most healthy adults, although individual needs vary and may be higher during illness under medical guidance. Include protein-rich foods such as fish, eggs, Greek yogurt, legumes, poultry, tofu, or lean meats. Stay hydrated, prioritize 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep, and avoid long periods of inactivity. Even short movement breaks every hour help maintain muscle function and metabolic health. The key message is simple but powerful. Don't think of exercise as punishment for what you ate yesterday. Think of it as an investment in the organ that influences nearly every aspect of your health. Every squat, every walk, every push-up, and every resistance exercise is strengthening more than your muscles. It's strengthening your metabolism, your resilience, and your body's ability to recover from life's greatest challenges. If this has added value so far, consider subscribing. Every day, we share practical, evidence-based strategies to help you improve your metabolic health, increase your energy, and build a longer, healthier life through science you can actually use. As we wrap up, let's step back and look at the bigger picture. The science of exercise in cancer is not about finding a miracle cure or a single habit that guarantees protection. Cancer is a complex group of diseases influenced by genetics, age, environmental exposures, lifestyle, and many factors beyond our control. But what the research continues to show is that regular physical activity is one of the most powerful lifestyle tools we have to improve the body's internal environment. It can help reduce cancer risk for several common cancers, improve physical function and quality of life during treatment, and support recovery afterward, all while benefiting nearly every other organ system in the body. Think about everything we've covered today. We learned that exercise improves insulin sensitivity, reducing excessive growth signals that can contribute to metabolic dysfunction. We explored how your muscles act as an endocrine organ, releasing myokines that communicate with the rest of your body. We saw how regular movement strengthens immune surveillance, giving your immune system more opportunities to recognize and eliminate abnormal cells. We discussed why reducing chronic inflammation is essential for long-term health and how consistent physical activity helps restore a healthier inflammatory balance. And finally, we discovered that preserving muscle mass isn't just about strength, it's about protecting one of your body's most important metabolic organs and building resilience for the future. The most encouraging part is that you don't have to become an elite athlete to experience these benefits. Small, consistent actions create powerful biological changes over time. A brisk walk after dinner, 2 or 3 strength training sessions each week, choosing the stairs instead of the elevator, breaking up long hours of sitting with a few minutes of movement, prioritizing quality sleep, eating enough protein and plenty of colorful, minimally processed foods. These habits work together, reinforcing one another to improve your metabolism, energy, and overall health. Remember this simple principle: your body responds to what you do consistently, not occasionally. Every healthy decision sends information to your cells. Every workout is a signal that encourages better metabolic function, stronger muscles, improved circulation, healthier immune activity, and greater resilience. While none of these habits can eliminate cancer risk entirely, together they create an internal environment that is better equipped to maintain health. So here's your challenge. Choose just one change from today's video and begin today. Maybe it's a 20-minute walk after lunch. Maybe it's your first resistance training session this week. Maybe it's simply standing up and moving for 5 minutes every hour. Don't underestimate the power of these small decisions. Over months and years, they compound into meaningful improvements in your health. And one final reminder: if you have cancer, are recovering from treatment, or have another medical condition, speak with your healthcare team before starting or significantly changing an exercise program. The best plan is one that's personalized, safe, and sustainable. If this video helped you better understand the science behind exercise and cancer, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Every day, we break down the latest research into clear, practical strategies that help you optimize your metabolism, protect your long-term health, and live with more energy, strength, and confidence. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.